Happy Monday, everyone. It's a cold Monday here in the state of Georgia. I've got my coffee ready to go. I got Ralph Leary in the background ready to go as well as we talk a little bit about the Cadillac effect over on the plains on today's episode of The Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.
Happy Monday morning, everyone. My name is Bryce Koon alongside Ralph Leary. This is The Crowded Booth, presented by Cook's Place, with the best scrambled dog in town. Down with the other place, down with them, down with the anarchy. We're going with Cook's Place. Ralph, how you doing on this fine, cold Monday morning?
Well, I mean, I would like to say this is Ralph, who was coffeeless because Bryce refused to go back, get him some. He said he called me and told me I got coffee and thought about bringing you a cup, but I didn't. So
I got in line.
Now y'all see how Bryce really is.
Let's do this because listen. The video retention rate is continuing to go up, and I think it's because of our playful banter. So I would like to say this. I got into the line at said coffee shop. They're not a sponsor, so we're not going to say their brand. But I said, you see, Ralph, the product placement we have going on here. Anyways, I got in line. The line was ridiculous. I waited 20 minutes, and I said, I'm going to get Ralph. I'll run by his apartment. I'll drop it off, and then we'll do our show. And then I just didn't. I just didn't do it. And I actually, Ralph, got myself a coffee. The coffee took longer, and I got myself a breakfast sandwich, which, if you remember, on my bachelor trip, we went to Starbucks and got the breakfast sandwich. I don't know if you came. I think you did.
I did not walk to Starbucks with y'all that morning.
But I think we got it for you.
I don't remember.
Who knows? Who knows? This is the playful banter that people love. But look, hey, we're talking, we're rocking and rolling. It's a Monday morning. And Ralph, it is a wonderful Monday morning for Auburn Tiger fans. And I don't know if I'll say this. I don't think 2 weeks ago I could have said that there would have been another fun Monday morning. Yeah. Shout out West Paul in a couple weeks or this week. I think that I was concerned with it. But we need to talk about it. Today's episode obviously entitled The Cadillac Effect. And Ralph, you were at the game on Saturday night. Just walk us through the atmosphere. I know you had joked about it, and we joked on social media about it, what it could be like. But truthfully, to me, the fan base was re-energized with the energy that Cadillac brings, the focus of the team, and it wasn't pretty. And it was against a bad Texas A&M team. But it's a win, and it's a conference win, and they desperately needed one. Talk to me about what it was like.
Well, it started off with the Tiger Walk. I normally don't go to Tiger Walk anymore because it's just too hectic. It's too many people around, and you're just kind of like it's just fighting around people. It's not as much fun as it used to be when I was a kid. But I was able to see. I was trying to find a few friends that were there, and I was able to see Cadillac leading the team down the walk and everything, and you can see him. Just a grin on his face, a smile he had. He was, cheek to cheek, smiling. Every fan that when he went by was going.
Apologies
crazy.
for Ralph using the cheek to cheek reference. Ralph maintained that it was the face cheek, not the butt cheek. Continue.
I'm gonna act like he didn't do that, but yes, he was smiling. It was just pure happiness. There's a video on social media. I would say Facebook. That's where I saw it. But it's all over social media. It's him walking with his two kids and his wife behind him. He's leading the whole entire team. He's just smiling, loving what he's doing. He's wearing a brand new plaid suit that's got it's orange and blue on there. People think it's pretty gaudy, but I thought it was pretty cool. I said that right there makes he just wants to be here. And you watch the entrance video. Now, I was talking to my dad and a few people before the game. Like, they're gonna play the Go Crazy Cadillac video. You have to. There's just no reason why you wouldn't. But then it was a different. The way it started, kind of faded into the stadium. The lights went out. The entrance was really cool. Then you can go watch Cole Kubelik trying to interview Cadillac before they ran on the field, which to me is impressive enough that he even tried to interview him right there at that point. But he did, and he brought back what he did with his teammates in 2004 was interlocking the arms walking out of the field. And that's something him and his teammates did in the 04, actually from I think it's 02 to 04 when he played, that they did that for years, and that was their thing. He wanted to bring it back. And you can just see everyone bought in. The whole fan base, all the players have bought into him. There's no game plan here. There's no bowl game in the future for them. But why not have some fun? Go play fun football. I mean, they ran some trick plays. They ran like a jet sweep with Tank Bigsby. They got in a triple. They got into a wing T formation at one point and ran the ball. And then they run the same formation again toward the end zone and had a little wheel route, receiver wide open in the end zone. I mean, it's just they weren't playing normal football. They're just playing fun. They're having a good time. The fan base was into it. It was loud. My dad, who hasn't been to a game in 3 years, I feel like actually, because he didn't go to a game in 2020 and or last year, actually inside the game, and he said he had a good time. And we stayed till halftime because it was freezing cold and it was windy, and we were like kind of getting out of here. So it was fun. It was a fun game. If you're an Auburn fan, you definitely enjoyed it. There's a lot of good things happening for Auburn in the next few years. I know it looks bad right now, but you got to keep Cadillac on that team.
Yeah, look. A lot of people don't know this about me. The Tech fans, they see the Georgia stuff like, oh, man, he's a big Georgia fan. Well, as you know, Ralph, started off as an Auburn fan. And one of the first real teams that I can remember really getting involved in was that 04 squad. Jason Campbell, Ronnie Brown, was it Courtney Taylor that played receiver? Something like that. I mean, they had some really good players. And then obviously as you get more into it, the Irons brothers, Kenny and David Irons. I mean, the players that Auburn has, it's an Auburn family. There's a spirit about Auburn that makes it special. And Cadillac found that. And thank you for that. For 3 hours, for 60 minutes, game minutes, Cadillac was able to encapsulate what Auburn is for 60 minutes. Fans forgot about that, they were on a 5-game losing streak, that, kids were decommitting, kids were, iffy. For 60 minutes, Ralph, Auburn was Auburn. Mm-hmm. Auburn was sold out. I can tell you, I don't know if there's another team in the country that at 3-6 is what Auburn was before that game that is selling out their stadium. No, in all seriousness, I don't think so.
And I want to throw back a little bit something. I didn't know this until last night after the game. Before the game started, Cadillac was greeted by 25 of his former teammates who played with him in the 04 team. Ronnie Brown,
Jason Campbell, who does radio work for the team.
Jason Campbell was there. A ton of people were there to support him because he goes, that's not my teammates. Those are my family. I still talk to them day by day. I've asked them questions. I have guys who I've played with and I know personally who are surrounding me, helping me coach. I didn't think I ever get this job. I never thought I'd have this possibility to be an interim head coach or a head coach at Auburn in my life. But I'm here and I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm going to go out and have fun. That's just how he is. He's a fun person. You watch him on the sidelines and people are like, he's not a normal head coach. He's like a hype guy. I'm like, it doesn't matter if he's a hype guy. He's having fun. He's leading this team. They bought into. He said, we got 4 games. Why not just try? Or
go have fun.
Yeah. What's the point? What's there to lose at this point?
Yeah. I agree with you.
You went out. You make a bowl game. Okay. You don't make a bowl game. It's okay. You had a rough season. You had a bad hire of a head coach for the last 2 years.
You've had a bad culture. I mean, if you're just honest with yourself, you've had a bad culture. And Cadillac said it, and I think it was in the post-game interview, Ralph, because I caught the tail end of it. And I was actually, Ralph, obviously I do the Mercer football games. I was with our friend of the show, Zach McKinnell, who came to cover the Mercer Furman game, with his Blue Bloods podcast covering all things FCS. And he and I were talking, just about the situation. I get home, I get to watch the interview, and Cadillac said, you just got to love on these kids. They've been through a lot. You have guys like Derek Hall and all those things. Mm-hmm. You saw how emotional they were after the loss to Texas A&M, but they turn around in this instance. And look, I don't think Cadillac's going to be the head coach at Auburn. No. I don't think so.
I think
there's a lot of fans.
Retain him, though.
You do, and I think it speaks to the volume of a guy who would, if you retain him, would have been on his 3rd different coaching head coach at Auburn. Mm-hmm. Gus Malzahn, Brian Harsin. But Ralph, as we wrap up just this quick little episode, man, you saw it, you watched it. I know you said you left at halftime.
Yeah.
The fans didn't want to leave, other than you. The fans stayed. The students stayed, and that's something too. They stayed till the end. Mm-hmm. I mean, you and I've talked about it. I was there even when they beat Mercer. I mean, it's one of the best, if not the best, atmosphere in college football. It's unbelievable. So, talk to me. Answer this real quick. What does Cadillac mean to Auburn football right now?
I mean, it's such a simple answer. He is Auburn football. That's just how it is. I mean, he played for him. He's coached for him now. He's leading the team out there. He's always believed in this team. He's not one guy to go on social media and start talking bad stuff about Auburn football. He's the guy that said, I played here. I went through the bad days. We went through the 8-5, the 9-3s. That 2014, we were great, but it was because of what we did the years before that. It's the guys who trailblazed for us. You know, the teams that this is why Auburn was so good back then. This is who they are now. And he wanted to bring that culture back. And it's hard to bring a culture back in just 2 games. But, I mean, everyone who was talking last night before the game, just anybody you saw somebody, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this. I mean, even if we lose by 3 or lose by 60, I'm excited for this. It's just that they're excited for a guy that every Auburn fan loves. I have a signed poster in my bedroom of Cadillac when he was playing, and that shows you. Even though I don't even pull for Auburn that much anymore, I was able to see one of my favorite players growing up getting coached, the team I grew up loving, and pulling for, and it brought a smile to your face. It did.
You know, I said on a show talking about Georgia Tech last week, you can't make emotional decisions. I don't think Auburn makes the emotional decision, but emotions do help. They do help. And in this instance, emotions have helped Auburn kind of come back together, unite together. Ralph, appreciate it as always,
there's
man.
no one better. I'm sorry. I was going to say, there's no better choice at the time for Auburn right now.
No, we appreciate it as always. We're going to be talking Dansby Swanson stuff later on in the week, which emotions will also come there as well. Some big Braves offseason talk with free agency officially beginning this past week, and we're going to talk more about that. Make sure to stay tuned to the channel. Listen to us over on the radio throughout East Alabama and West Georgia. Ralph rocking the Ole Miss pullover. The Rebels fall to Alabama in a wild game. Game. Alabama able to survive, but it's Georgia and LSU in the SEC title. Going to be an interesting one in Atlanta, and we might just be there. We'll let you know. We'll talk later about it. We'll talk more about it as you need to stay tuned to the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join us next time here on today's episode of The Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.